is my sensation and perception subject, my favorite subject project. So I basically just did mine over the perception of color because that was the most interesting to me. Apparently I had no idea how we see and interpret color, so that's probably why it was so interesting to me, because I learned so much. I knew that light had something to do with it, but I didn't know anything else. So basically, how we perceive color, light travels through the eye to a portion of our eye called the retina, and the retina is covered in little cells called cones and rods, and the cones are what help detect the color. The cones send signals to our brain, and our brain perceives the color based on what we're looking at. The cones detect colors based off of green, red, and blue, and then obviously the way those colors mix is how we come up with all the rest of the colors. Most people have 3 kinds of cone cells, and those who don't have all 3 normally have a deficiency. So that's where color blindness comes in. There's a couple different types of color blindness, and one that I even found really interesting was that you can even have a 4th type of cone, and it's very rare and normally only found in women. So that's cool, being a woman. So anyways, the different types of cones that you have, or different number of cones that you have, will cause the type of color blindness that you have. You can have total or partial in one eye, or obviously in both eyes. Growing up, I thought color blindness was just a random film over your eyes that took away the color. That's not how it works. So anyways, that was actually very interesting. And of course, the book goes more in depth about color perception and who came up with it, and way more things. This is just basic little presentation, but I did learn so much about this subject alone that I thought was pretty awesome. I had no idea about the cones, or that they only technically see green, red, and blue. And that's where color mixing and things like that come into play, and that's how you get all the rest of the colors of the rainbow. This picture on the left is a picture of the eye, a basic picture labeled. This outside portion is your retina. That is where all of your rods and your cones are, so that's what you can see over here on the right. The cones are in this picture, they're in the middle, and you can see the red, green, and blues, and then your rods are on the outside. So that was very interesting, and I actually really enjoyed this chapter, learning more and more about it. And whenever people say that they got colorblind glasses, the glasses are basically acting as their cones in the glasses, which is kind of hard to imagine, but it's basically like a play on the cones that are in our eyes. It's an artificial cone in the glasses, which helps the color blind person see the reds, greens, and blues, which of course in turn gives them all the rest of the colors, or a small variation of them. And then these are my references. The video explains more in depth the cones and the rods, and you can just see a visual of how they are in the eye.